Welcome to the Elevated Woman's Podcast, your guide to optimal health and confidence. I'm Dr. Ade Akindipe, family nurse practitioner and women's health coach. I help women in midlife reset their bodies and reclaim their confidence. So this is the place where real talk meets real solutions. No quick fixes, no fluff, just the tools, strategies, and stories you need to break free from stubborn weight gain, balancing your hormones, and stepping into your healthiest self yet. Whether you're navigating perimenopause, menopause, or simply just tired of feeling like your body's working against you, then you're in the right place. Let's get into it. Welcome back to the episode of the Elevated Women's Podcast. I'm Dr. Ade. This episode, I need you to actually sit with me for a few minutes because I think it might explain something that's been driving you up the wall, maybe. So let me ask you something. Have you been exercising, like really exercising, showing up, doing the classes, logging your miles on your Apple Watch, and the scale just doesn't move, or it moves a little bit and then sneaks right back up like it was never gone? Or maybe working out itself feels impossible right now because you are just exhausted. You've got nothing left to give. Like literally you have nothing else. Or, and this one drives me a little bit crazy, has somebody told you, maybe a doctor, a personal trainer, the internet, your aunt at Thanksgiving, that you just need to do more cardio. Oh, you just need to lose more weight, or you just need to cut more calories. You need to walk more. You need to run more. Maybe you need to get on your elliptical in your living room or something. And you did, and it still isn't working. So if that sounds like you, any of that, stay right here because I need you to hear this. You are not failing at this. The plan you were handed, but was never really built for what your body's actually dealing with right now. And today I'm going to tell you what is. So let's get into it. First, let me say this very clearly because I don't want you swearing off cardio after this episode. Cardio is not the enemy. It's good for your heart, your mood, your circulation. I actually feel really great after doing really good cardio. I feel great after walking. I feel good after a great run. It's great for your immune system. It's great for mental clarity. It's great for your nervous system. So I'm not taking that away from you. But here's what years of long, steady cardio will not do for a body dealing with something like insulin resistance. It helps, but when you're trying to help reduce insulin, you may need to do more than just cardio. It will not fix how your body handles blood sugar if that's what you're trying to do. It will not build the one thing that actually changes that story for good. So again, cardiovascular workouts are not the enemy. I want you to continue doing this. But here's something nobody ever sat me down and told me. Your muscle is basically your body's blood sugar sponge. Think of it as a sponge. It is the main place sugar gets pulled out of your bloodstream and put to work. And here's the part that I love. Your muscles can soak up that sugar during a workout without needing insulin's permission at all. It's got its own, you can call it a privacy doorway for sugar to get in. And that doorway swings open the second your muscles contract. No insulin required. So the more muscles you have and the more you actually use it, the better your body gets at clearing sugar out of your blood, no matter how stubborn your insulin has been. If you're struggling with insulin resistance or polyendocrine metabolic ovarian syndrome, PMOS, that's a real physical fix. This is not a guess. So long cardio sessions don't build that kind of muscle. And if you're in a calorie deficit, which let's be honest, a lot of us are trying to be, hours of cardio can actually eat away at the muscle you do have, which means you're working out and somehow making the problem worse, not better. I hope that makes sense. And there's a second piece here that I want you to know is stress. If you are already running on no sleep or you're getting not restful sleep, always stretched thin, and then you go do an hour of hard, intense cardio on top of that, that spikes your stress hormone, cortisol. Cortisol pushes your blood sugar up, which makes your body release more insulin. So you just spent an hour working out and accidentally making things harder for yourself. And that's the women spinning their wheels situation. When I see patients in clinic, they'll say they are doing everything, but it's not working. That's why they feel like they're doing everything right, but they're still inflamed, they're exhausted. The workout itself became one more thing their body had to recover from. So let's talk about what actually works for you. This next part is genuinely one of my favorite things to talk about because it surprises almost everyone. There's research ranking which kinds of movement actually helps the most with insulin resistance in women. And the order is not what you would guess. Number one, yoga. And I've come to love yoga. It's something that, just like all of you probably listening to this, maybe you grew up in a culture where you felt like you need to sweat and be exhausted by the time you work out for you to really see any difference in weight loss. I was one of those. I remember duking it out in my living room with Billy Blanks, really working out really hard, and I would be exhausted. Well, those are my younger days when I was in my 20s. Can't do that right now. But yoga is something that I've really come to love. I love the slow movements of it. Yes, yoga beat out high intensity workouts. So they do work. Number two was high intensity workouts. So those quick intervals, the high intensity ones really do help. Number three is easy, steady, the zone 2 workout where you are not out of breath, but you're still working. And number four is straight resistance training on its own. And this was pulled from a 2025 review of 19 studies on women with metabolic and hormone issues, in case you wanted to look this up. But you don't need to memorize the citation. Just trust me on this, okay? Yoga does really help. Now, before you push back on yoga being number one, I had patients raise an eyebrow at me about this too. The deal is yoga works because it calms your stress hormone. And cortisol, your stress hormone, is driving a lot of this blood sugar mess for so many of us. So lowering it matters a lot. I will tell you, I went on a short vacation to Hawaii for just a few days, and I'm used to lifting weights. And during the weekend can be very stressful between seeing patients and dealing with home and all the other things that I do in my life. And that routine works great for me. And I went on this vacation. I didn't do my routine. I ate more. I did the walks, did gentle beach walks each single day that I was there. And I came back, I felt better, and I actually lost weight. Yeah, I got on my body composition at work. I didn't gain a pound. I lost weight and I actually maintained my muscle mass. So movement. Let's talk about it. In my own protocol, I don't just pick one of these. I try to blend the top three because no one single thing works on its own. So here's what that actually looks like. High intensity interval training. If you're doing this about 2 to 3 times a week for about 20 to 30 minutes, sometimes even less than that, maybe 15 minutes, 10 to 15 minutes. There's some really great workouts. I like the ones on the Peloton. Why does this help? So high intensity or HIIT workouts open the sugar doorway, if you will, in your muscles. So it helps build strength. It's the most efficient use of limited time. So if you don't have a lot of time in your routine, here's something that I highly recommend you doing because it's short burst, but you burn a lot of calories that way. And you help improve your insulin sensitivity. Then yoga, mindfulness movement, 1 to 2 times a week, 30 to 45 minutes. This calms your nervous system. And it also tends to lower your fasting blood sugar and improves your mood. I love it when I do a Sunday workout yoga class, about 30 minutes, sometimes during the week when I can't fit in or I really feel my nervous system is not as great. Sometimes if my sleep wasn't as great as I would like, yoga is a great activity where you're still getting some movement in. Zone 2 cardiovascular workouts about 2 times a week. 30 to 45 minutes, builds stamina, burns fat steadily, easy on your stress hormone. So walking, easy cycling, swimming is a great one. Post-meal walks. Now, this one is a non-negotiable daily, every single day, 10 to 15 minutes. Softens the blood sugar spike after eating so you don't have those huge spikes. By up to 30%, you can improve your blood sugar spike. It's free. You just walk, no equipment needed. So high intensity interval training, what is that? When I say HIIT, I'm not telling you to do burpees till you collapse. So I just mean short bursts of effort followed by rest. If you're starting off very exhausted, and that's real, that's valid, right? Here's where you start, not the advanced version of what you'll see in other exercises. Walk at a normal pace for 90 seconds, then walk briskly or march in place for 30 seconds. Repeat that 8 to 10 times. You'll see it works. It really will get your heart rate up. That's it. It counts. As you get stronger, you can push harder on those 30-second bursts. So jog, squat, whatever. But you start where you actually are. And that's why I tell my patients in the clinic, that say they're not used to working out. There's really no, I mean, of course, if you have a really bad back injury, your knees, there are real issues. But if you are someone who's not worked out, you have no injury, starting where you are with walking, increasing your pace with time, or taking very, very calm jogs for a short few seconds and stopping. Those are high intensity interval training. But your metabolism doesn't need you to suffer. It needs you to show up consistently. That's what really matters. Then once you're ready for more, 30 seconds on, 30 seconds off for 10 to 15 rounds, you can do squats, you can do step ups, sprints, kettlebells, whatever you got. Then the zone 2, the cardio that you've probably never actually done, this is a specific pace. Hard enough that your heart rate actually goes up, but easy enough you could still hold a conversation. So breathing harder, not gasping, roughly about 60 to 70% of your max heart rate. This pace teaches your body to burn fat more efficiently. So it's good for your cells, your mitochondria, which we call the powerhouse of your cell, and it barely touches your cortisol. So a brisk walk, 35-minute walk, an easy bike ride at home or at the gym, a relaxing swim, that's your zone 2. That is very different from the long, hour-long, leaving you wrecked cardio class. That's not zone 2. That's a stress event for your body. And if you're already exhausted, feeling depleted after a workout is not a badge of honor. It's your body waving a red flag. Let's move on to resistance training. I know it ranked 4th on the list, but don't skip it. Muscle is a long game. Every bit you build raises how much energy your body burns just by existing. And it clears more sugar without insulin's help. That's what's so great about it. Your body composition changes even on weeks the scale doesn't budge. And that's why I really love doing the body composition on women, because they'll come into the clinic and they'll say, well, I haven't seen the scale move at home, and we'll get on the body composition and they can see their body changing. And I'll ask, how do your clothes fit? Do you have more energy? They'll say, yeah, my clothes are fitting better. I'm wearing a bit better size or smaller size. But in our minds, psychologically or mentally, we want to see the numbers going down. But sometimes that just means you're building more muscle, you're losing body fat. And on the days that you're just too tired, walk 10 minutes after a meal. That's it. That 10-minute walk is one of the single most effective things you can do for your blood sugar, and showing up for that even on your worst days keeps that habit alive. You don't have to earn rest, but you also don't have to disappear from movement completely just because the real workout isn't happening today. That all or nothing mindset needs to really change. I tell women, whatever you can do consistently 80% of the time is what's going to keep you. It doesn't have to be 100% every single day. You don't need a gym membership. Squats, lunges, push-ups, rows with a resistant band. Sometimes I'll take resistance bands to work to try to move twice a week consistently. And in 6 months, your body will look and feel different. Your energy will be up. All right, let's talk about what this looks like in real life. We can say all of this, all we want, but we want to make sure that it works for us. Protocol is on paper. It doesn't mean it actually can fit your life. So let's say realistic work week. What does that look like? So if you're a beginner to moderate, Monday can look like a 20-minute high intensity. You don't need to have any equipment at home or anything. And then after work, maybe later on the day, you have a 10-minute post-dinner walk. Tuesday, 30-minute brisk walk in zone 2, plus a 10-minute post-lunch walk. That's 40 minutes in a day. Wednesday, rest or gentle stretching. And then you have a 10-minute post-dinner walk. Thursday, 30-minute yoga. You can get a YouTube video, pop it in there or on your phone, plus a 10-minute post-dinner walk. Friday, 20-minute HIIT, a little more effort than Monday, plus 10-minute post-meal walk. Saturday, you have a 35 to 40-minute zone 2 walk or bike. And then Sunday, you rest. The post-meal walks are the non-negotiable. Everything else can be flexible, but the ones after meals for women with insulin resistance, this is the one you really need to keep consistent. So notice what's not on here. 1 hour on the treadmill every single day. Spin class 6 days a week. 2-hour sessions that leave you fatigued. None of that is here. What's on here is smart, varied movement that actually aimed at your blood sugar. And just so you know, this whole week adds up to about 3 or 4 hours total for the week. Walks included. That's genuinely all it takes to start moving the needle. 4 hours. Let's talk about what can support all of this, because movement and supplements aren't separate lanes. They are hitting the same targets. Combine them on purpose and things move a little bit faster. So these are actually what I use with my patients around exercise and recovery. Not everyone needs all of this, but let me walk you through why each one is on this list. The first one is berberine. Berberine flips on the same internal energy that exercise flips on. So taking this alongside your workout is like hitting that switch from two directions at once. On its own, research shows it can drop a key insulin resistance marker by nearly half. So if you pair your berberine with movement, of course, it stacks on. So 500 milligrams 2 to 3 times a day before meals or with meals. The second one is myo-inositol, 2 grams twice a day. I want you to think of this as a messenger that helps your cells actually hear what insulin is trying to tell them. For women dealing with PMOS, hormonal imbalances, this is one of the best backed supplements we have. It supports ovulation. It reinforces everything your workout is already trying to do. Alpha lipoic acid, 600 milligrams with a meal. So this opens that same doorway we talked about in your muscles that exercise opens. So again, you're stacking the effect. It also calms what we call oxidative stress, which tends to run really high when you're dealing with insulin resistance and inflammation. CoQ10, 100 milligrams to 200 milligrams daily. And if I didn't say that already, the alpha lipoic acid is 600 milligrams a day with a meal. I'm not sure if I said that. The next one is CoQ10 ubiquinol, 100 milligrams to 200 milligrams daily. This supports your cell's power plants, that part that actually makes your energy during a workout. A lot of women with insulin resistance have power plants that aren't running well, which is a part of why exercise feels so hard and recovery takes forever. So ubiquinol is just the form your body uses most easily. So if you're on a statin, this one matters even more. The ones we just talked about are the ones that are going to really help with energy, with recovery, and actually use the sugar in your bloodstream. Again, that's berberine, myo-inositol, alpha lipoic acid, CoQ10 ubiquinol. Those are the ones I recommend for blood. The next ones are help with stress hormone and recovery. So ashwagandha is one of my favorite, what we call adaptogenics that help calm the nervous system. Ashwagandha, 300 to 600 milligrams a day, brings cortisol down. There's solid research behind it. And a bonus, it's also been shown to support healthy thyroid numbers. So if your workouts have been leaving you more wired and depleted than energized, this one belongs in your routine for sure. Magnesium glycinate, 300 milligrams to 400 milligrams at bedtime. This is another one of my favorite. Most women with insulin resistance are running low on magnesium, and sweating it out during exercise doesn't help either. So it supports muscle recovery, better sleep, and your blood sugar. Taking it before bed helps you actually get the deep sleep where your body does its repair work. Omega-3s, EPA plus DHEA, 2 to 3 grams daily. So exercise causes a little controlled inflammation. We call it hormetic stress, where you exercise and kind of put some stress on the body. That's normal. That's how muscles get built. But if you're already inflamed from insulin resistance, the post-workout inflammation can run too hot and slow your recovery down. So omega-3s are the best studied tool we have for calming that down, and they can help your cells respond better to insulin too. Those supplements I just talked about are in my core and extended bundles. The links are in the show notes. You don't need an appointment to start this, but please work with a provider on the full picture, especially if you're on medications. Berberine and alpha lipoic acid specifically can interact with your blood sugar medications, so don't combine those without guidance. 3 things you can do this week. I want you to focus on doing one HIIT session this week, just one. Set a timer, 20 minutes, 30 seconds of effort, 60 to 90 seconds of rest. Repeat that 8 to 10 times. Done. You just opened that sugar doorway in your muscles and told your body it's time to get stronger. The second thing I want you to do is add a post-meal walk every day this week. After your biggest meal, 10 to 15 minutes around the block, around your living room, doesn't matter. This is the highest impact, lowest effort, on this entire list. This is what you can do. So you don't skip this thing. It's really important. If you've got a CGM, a continuous glucose monitor, watch your numbers on the days you walk versus the days you don't. That difference will convince you real fast. Try one yoga video this week, free on YouTube. Search yoga for stress or yoga for beginners, 30 minutes. You don't need to be flexible or good at it. There's so many different variations, and you're a beginner to all the way to when you're a pro at this. So the whole point is calming your stress hormone down. And that happens whether or not your downward dog looks impressive or not. The goal is not for you to be perfect, but to just practice movement and stretching, something that encourages breathing. And that's one of the things I really appreciate about yoga. All right. So here's what I want you to walk away with. Your body is not broken, ladies. It has not been failing you. It's been working off instructions that were never built for you. Those hour-long workouts, the low-fat everything, the low-carb everything, push harder, eat less, move more. And it's just setting you up for failure. So now you've got the right ones. HIIT to open up the sugar doorway, yoga to bring down your stress levels, zone 2 workouts to build your stamina without torching your adrenals, post-meal walks every single day, and the supplements you need to work alongside them. You're starting off right. You're not starting off over. So if you've got questions about how any of this fits into your life, your energy, your schedule, please email me at info@rejuvenatehealthak.com. One more time, info@rejuvenatehealthak.com. I read every single one and I want to hear from you. The supplement bundles are linked in the show notes. And if you are ready to go all in, I'm opening 10 spots for the Women's Metabolic Blueprint program. The intake form is in the show notes. If you have not heard about this, I basically revamped how I'm helping my women who are dealing with unexplained weight gain, insulin resistance, PCOS or PMOS, metabolic dysfunction. There's a particular protocol I put together and it is amazing. And I'm so excited to help women out there. But these programs are really high intensity for women who are really looking to improve their overall health, improve their energy levels, lose weight, help improve their thyroid function, eat better for their bodies. These are women who are navigating all of these changes during this time. And unfortunately, when they go to their doctor, the full picture is not realized. They don't have someone to really help tie the pieces together. All of that was put into the Women's Metabolic Blueprint, and the supplement bundles that you have here are some of the tools that we are using. So if you're getting started with the supplements, that's fine. But if you want a deeper dive, that's what the Women's Metabolic Blueprint is about. The next time we're going to talk about thyroid, why your tests come back normal and you still feel hypothyroid. So you don't want to miss that next one. The numbers your doctor probably isn't even checking. That's episode number 32. Thank you for being here. Send this to someone who needs it. Please don't forget to leave me a review and send me a message. Take care of yourselves. Stay elevated. Thank you for tuning in to the Elevated Women's podcast. If today's episode resonates with you, don't keep it to yourself. Share it with a friend who needs this conversation too. And if you're ready to stop guessing and start thriving, head over to our website. It's listed in the show notes to learn more about our Elevated Women's coaching program. That's where we take these conversations deeper and create a more personalized plan for your hormones, your weight, energy, and more. Check out our show notes. I've linked free tools and cheat sheets to help you get started right away. For more daily tips and inspiration, come hang out with me on Instagram at The Elevated Woman Coach. And don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel, Thriving Over 40 with Dr. Akindipe. Until next time, stay elevated.